In this video, I'll be showing how to replace a rear wheel bearing and hub assembly on the Chevrolet Equinox. It is located behind the rear wheels. Let's get started. Now let's go ahead and remove our right rear wheel. There are 5 19mm lug nuts. And now let's take off our wheel. Now that our wheel's off, let's go ahead and make our way to the back side of the knuckle. We're gonna locate our 2 caliper bracket bolts. There's one recessed in the knuckle here and one up here. They are both 18mm. During removal of the last bolt, keep a hand on the caliper bracket so it does not fall. Now I'm gonna take a hanger, place it in the slide pin, remove the bracket and the caliper, and hang it on the trailing arm. Now for our T30 screw, I'll be using a T30 Torx bit. If this is stuck on, you could also use an impact driver. Now we can set it aside. Now we could go ahead and remove our rotor. If yours is stuck on, you could use a rubber mallet to break the seal. Now we're gonna move along to our axle nut. I'll be using a 32mm socket and an impact wrench. Now I'm gonna take a punch and hammer and hit along the axle in the center divot to make sure the axle shaft moves freely inside the wheel bearing and hub assembly. As you can see, our axle shaft is moving freely. Now we're gonna move along to the back side of the knuckle again to locate our 3 18mm bolts holding our wheel bearing and hub assembly down. I'll be removing those. Now at this point, you want to place a hand on the wheel bearing and hub assembly to ensure it does not fall out. I'm going to push in on the axle and push out on the wheel bearing and hub assembly. Remove the bearing, and there it is. Now I'm going to remove my backing plate as well. Now let's go ahead and prep our mating surface. I'll be using some brake cleaner and a wire brush. I have a collection receptacle underneath the vehicle for all the brake clean. Now I'm going to go ahead and wipe everything down with a clean rag. For anything really caked on, you could use a razor blade. Now I'm going to clean everything up with some brake cleaner and a clean rag. Now to lubricate my axle, I'm going to apply some lubricant on the axle splines. I'll also lubricate along the hub to knuckle mating surface. Now I'll be cleaning the face of the knuckle with a wire brush. And I'll pass with a rag with some brake cleaner applied to it. Now with our mating surfaces prepped, I'm going to go ahead and install the backing plate, wheel bearing, and hub assembly. I'm going to slide the backing plate over first. The cutout is for the brake caliper and bracket. Now I'm going to slide my wheel bearing and hub assembly over and push in. Quick note, if the backing plate shifts, that's okay. We are going to realign it upon installation of the wheel bearing and hub bolts. Now let's go ahead and reinstall our 3 18mm wheel bearing and hub bolts. Now that their hands threaded on, I'm going to go ahead and snug them down. Now I'm going to go ahead and torque all 3 bolts down to 74 foot-pounds. Now let's go ahead and prep our wheel hub to brake rotor mating surface. I'll be using some anti-seize. Now let's go ahead and install our brake rotor. I'm going to slide it into place, make sure the set screw hole aligns with the holes on the rotor. Now I'm going to hand thread on my set screw. Now I'm going to snug it down with my T30 Torx bit. Now let's go ahead and install our brake caliper and brake caliper bracket. I'm going to remove the hanger. Now I'm going to slide it over the rotor. Now we're going to move along to the back side of the knuckle again for my two 18mm caliper bracket bolts. Now let's go ahead and snug these down. Now let's go ahead and torque these two bolts to 74 foot-pounds. Now to install our 32mm axle nut. I'm going to hand thread it on first. Then snug it down with my impact gun. Now that our nut is snug, I'm going to take a pry bar, put it in between the two studs, and lock the axle. This is so I could torque the nut down to 185 foot-pounds. Now remove your pry bar. Let's go ahead and reinstall our right rear wheel. Now thread on your 5 19mm lug nuts by hand. Now I'm going to snug these down in a crisscross pattern. Now let's go ahead and torque these to 100 foot-pounds in a crisscross pattern. Yeah, that completes our install. Go ahead and take the vehicle for a road test, and thanks for watching.
When only the best will do, demand TRQ. The only company that lets you view before you do. TRQ is committed to offering the highest quality aftermarket auto parts that are engineered for peace of mind. Thanks for using and viewing with TRQ.